Hi, Janae Lacour Dunn, MBA Realtor here with www.movetonorthaustin.com, where we usually discuss everything that North Austin has to offer in the housing market. Today, I'm going to take a moment and talk about just the market in general right now in the Austin area, what we're experiencing this summer. So consider this your July market update. So first and foremost, we cannot start this conversation in July without talking about the changes that are happening in the real estate world with this new NAR settlement. So a couple of things, probably heard about it a lot on the news. I just want to clarify and kind of, bring up a few things that would actually affect our clients. First and foremost is commission disclosure. So this whole thing is about more transparency in the industry. That's a good thing, so that everyone understands exactly how everything works. So commission disclosures is a biggie. So there will be quite a bit more information about how commission is structured, who is paying it, and any conflicts of interest that may arise because of that. And part of this is that now, if you are a buyer, and I do work with a lot of buyers, no realtor cannot show you a home anymore without a buyer's representation agreement. I myself have always gotten buyer representation agreements signed before I show property for a number of reasons. Number one being, I want everyone to know what to expect. What is my responsibility and what is expected of you as a client? I like everything out on the table. That's just the type of person I am. Nothing left to question. But now nobody can show you a home without a buyer representation agreement. And in that agreement, it will go over how we get paid, who will be paying us. Another thing that's really important in this settlement is that the MLS, so that's how we most of the time find homes for you to buy, or we post them on there if you are a seller. They will no longer allow us to put commission for buyer's agents on there. It will not be listed. It cannot be even in a document uploaded. It cannot be discussed at all. So, when you are a buyer, those type of discussions about how your representation will be paid will be happening very early on, and we'll be having those discussions early on. The good news is I sell quite a few homes every month, and so far I just haven't seen anything where this is going to change a lot, but it will be more transparency on who's paying it. A few other things, there will be no more pocket listings. I don't know how much that applies to my database, but a pocket listing is when someone does not put a realtor does not put a home on the MLS, instead only markets it to a select group of people. That will no longer be allowed. And then there'll also be a little bit more clarity on dual agency. Again, this is all about transparency. Dual agency is when an agent represents both the buyer and seller. So just more required transparency about that. If you have any questions about that and how it's going to change in Texas, I'm happy to answer that. These changes do go into effect August 17th. Okay, now let's get into what is happening in Austin in the real estate market. Okay, first I'm going to bring up two graphs here. You have closed price median for new construction and closed price median for resale homes. What I want you to see over this historical trend is that we saw quite a correction from the huge COVID boom in resale. What you'll see in new construction is we didn't see quite the correction that we saw in resale. And I think one of the reasons is that new home sales have done an excellent job of enticing buyers, not necessarily with price, but with incentives. And those incentives usually come in the form of a lower interest rate. I actually have clients buying new homes right now that are getting permanent interest rates in the 4%. When we're looking at a national average almost 7%, that's really great. And truthfully, when you're talking about your monthly mortgage, the interest rate does make a bigger difference than the home price. So that's why I think you haven't seen as much of a correction in the new construction as you have with resale. Okay, next let's take a look at active listings. My goodness, we are up significantly, over 37% more than this time last year in active listings. There's a lot of reasons why. I truthfully think that for a long time there, people were holding off to see what was going to happen with the interest rates and see if, no one wanted to let go of their amazing interest rates that they may have had from times before. Now that we're seeing that this may stick around a little bit longer, that this is our new normal, people are deciding to make some moves. What does this mean? We have a lot more inventory. So buyers are being a little bit more picky than they have been afforded to in the past. Are we in a buyer's market? We're kind of right there on the line. We consider that with months of inventory, which we can explain in a different video. But yeah, a lot of new listings, and it still seems to be climbing. And I am just a data nerd. You're going to have to bear with me on this one, but it's very interesting. I like to look at the original list price, so the ratio of the original list price to what the house closed for. So what they originally listed it for to what it ended up closed, what percentage. So take a look at this chart, crazy. So early 2021, I mean, we were really peaking above 105%, meaning, 105% of what they originally listed the house for is what it was closing for. Crazy days, right? And now you go back down to where we are right now, and we're at a steady, right there at 95, 97%. Now, here's what I think is interesting, and it is what I am experiencing right now with my listings. First, let's break down what it looks like for over $700,000 homes. So here that is. We are looking at right now at about 95% of what the is closing for what the original list price is. Now, if we go to under 700,000 homes, we're looking at about 97%. So what I'm seeing a trend towards is, the higher price homes just aren't as in demand, and they're not closing for as high as they were expecting. What I really think is happening is that those sellers are taking a little bit longer to get realistic about what they can get their house for now that crazy boom that happened in 2021 is over. So that's the market update for Austin in terms of stats. Lastly, I want to talk about what is happening in the mortgage industry, right? At the end of the day, how much is it going to cost me to borrow money to be able to buy a home? So as of today, this is July 2nd, 2024, we are looking at rates. FHA is looking mid sixes, 6.5-ish. Conventional 30-year is looking a little bit over 7.01, 7.1. But what is happening overall in the mortgage industry? I found this really interesting. My buddy Eric over at Thrive Mortgage, Eric Richardson, sent this to me. This is the percentage of rise in applications month over month. So in June, we saw the biggest month of mortgage applications growth that we've seen in a while, almost 18%. Look at this chart, mortgage applications. So why? Again, look at the active listings, right, growing. I think people are really starting to say, instead of saying, oh my gosh, rates are so high. Yes, they are, but this is our new normal. Everyone keeps saying rates will go down, rates will go down. Here's the thing, the economy is really strong. It doesn't necessarily have to. Our economy is shockingly strong right now, that rates might not go down. And so people are saying, okay, this is what it is. I want to move, and I'm going to have to come to grips with what the current mortgage rates are. And that's just what's happening. We're having a mass acceptance, if you will. So anyways, that's my market update. Take what you want, leave what you don't. You can email me if you have any questions. If you want to talk about new home builds that have amazing rates, I'm happy to do that. If you want to talk about how far your money can go right now, because are we maybe in a buyer's market, or you have a lot of options in your budget, I'm happy to do so. My next video actually is going to be a walkthrough of a home in Jarrell that is $200,000. Yes, you can be within a 30-45 minute drive of Austin in a brand new home for $200,000. It is possible. I'm going to bring you through a walkthrough. You know me, I have been talking about Jarrell for a while now. I think it is a good place to consider if you are very either payment conscious or budget conscious. Anyways, hit me up at movetonorthaustin.com. Email me, Janae at movetonorthaustin. Follow, like, subscribe, all the things, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.